July 30 every year is celebrated as World Trafficking Day, and here in India there is a girl from Orissa. There is a girl
Yeah.
from Orissa who has helped rescuing near about 6,000 workers. Okay, 6,000 workers, those who were trapped in Tamil Nadu. Okay, she has helped this near about 6,000 workers from Orissa, those who were trapped in Tamil Nadu, and it was just during this lockdown. Okay, it was just during this lockdown. And here, there will be a theme for every year. Those who are trying combined defense service examination, central arms police force examination, for this all examination, you should know what is the theme every year. Okay, they will be asking you the theme. So be careful. You have to write down the theme and by heart it. Okay, what was the theme of the World Environment Day? Okay, World Environment Day. What is on which day we celebrate World Environment Day? We celebrate it on June 5. Okay, so June 5 every year we celebrate it as World Environment Day. So the theme will be, uh, they will ask you this also. 2020 is the present year. 2019 is the previous year. So biodiversity. Okay, biodiversity is the
Biodiversity.
theme for
Yes.
2020. 2019 was air pollution. 2018 was plastic pollution. Okay, this kind of question they'll ask you. So yesterday we had just missed this topic. So today there is everywhere there is a talk called as National Education Policy. National Education Policy, right? So in polity classes we have discussed that, for example, division of powers. Schedule number 7 deals with division of powers. What is meant by this division of powers? You have union list, you have state list, and concurrent list. Now the central government has decided to make some changes in the educational laws. Okay, educational rule in India. So present, if you see, 10, then plus 2, then degree. Okay, then degree, and this degree will be for arts and all these courses. It will be 3 years. For technical, it will be 4 years. For profession courses like doctor, we have for 5 years. Okay, this is the criteria which is going on. Past 34 years, just keep in mind, past 34 years, there was not even a single change in this educational institutions. Then you had educational institution like UGC, then you had AICTE. Okay, then you have different universities. All these universities will be monitored by this University Grant Commission. Okay, University Grant Commission, and all the technical institution will be taken control by this AICTE, All India Council for Technical Education. Understood? So what is the recent change? What is the recent change? That is 5 plus 3 plus 4. Okay, 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. This is the new education qualification or education system which is going to come. For example, 5 years till the candidate is in 8th standard, he will be preparing for the 8th standard board exams. Okay, there will be a small kind of board exams here, and then after this next 3 years, he's going to prepare for the board exams, and then next 3 years, and then next you have 4 years, and this 4 years is very very important. All the degrees will have 4 years. Now what happened? There is a lot of ratios. Oh no, a lot of students, what they do, they start enrolling for a degree course. Okay, they enroll for a degree course, and in midway, imagine after 2 years or after 3 years, okay, they drop out due to some financial reason or some other reason. They drop out. So in order to stop this dropout, there is one more opportunity given by this national education policy. That is, each and every candidate will get an opportunity to take a break. Okay, to take a break. So there will be a system that if they want to stop for some period of time, they can take a break, and after break they can continue the degree. After break they can continue the degree. This is what the new system is going to implement. Understood? This is one new system. Next, in degree there will be compulsorily one major subject. Okay, compulsorily one major subject. These major subjects can be physics, maths, or chemistry, or some science major subjects will be compulsorily there. Okay, mainly they are focusing on mathematics. Okay, mainly they are focusing on mathematics. Students are weak in mathematics, so we should increase this mathematical skills by this on this degree completion. Okay, this is one thing they have brought it. Then you have one more thing, that music is introduced. Okay, music is introduced. Then credit system is introduced. All the systems are introduced. This is just a bill. Okay, it is now this draft. Last class I have told you that how these bills are being given into public. Democracy is nothing but for the people, by the people, of the people, right? And I was talking about exactly the same topic, that is education. Suppose the government want to make some changes. What happens? The government of India, the central government, okay, imagine there is a central government. They will call all the stakeholders. Okay, they will call all the stakeholders. Now who are the stakeholders? They will be the principal of some big colleges. Okay, they will be the principal of some big government colleges. Then they will call some headmaster. Then they will call some students. Okay, some students like this. Okay, so these are the common people. This is how the democracy is going to participate. Okay, the common people here, they will participate and they will give some ideas. Okay, they will give some ideas. All these ideas will be taken and written into a paper, and this will be called as gazette. Okay, this will be called as gazette, or some, imagine a draft bill. Okay, it will be a rough draft bill. And now this rough draft bill, there will be a minister called as education minister. This education minister is going to introduce in parliament. Okay, he is going to introduce this bill in parliament. So here you know the rest of the story. There are four stages: stage 1, 2, 3, 4. Stage 1, the bill will be introduced in the house. This bill can be introduced in Lok Sabha or in Rajya Sabha. Okay, this is just an ordinary bill. So ordinary bill requires simple majority, correct? The ordinary bill requires simple majority, that you keep in mind. So here the bill is introduced in parliament. Stage 2, what happens? The bill will be referred to a standing committee. Okay, there will be a committee set up, and this committee will have other different members. Different members are there, and all these members will be chosen by the speaker. Okay, all these members will be chosen by the speaker. Near about 15 to 20 members will be there. Okay, 15 to 20 members will be there. And just keep in mind, a minister cannot be a member here. Okay, a minister will not be a member in this 15 to 20 group of people. Okay, and now this standing committee will read this bill clause by clause. They will go each and every point, and after the clause by clause discussion is done, then the bill will be given for vote in stage number 3. The bill will be under voting. And stage 4, what happens? The bill is passed and it goes to other house. Suppose, imagine if it is Rajya Sabha, it will go to Rajya Sabha. Again in Rajya Sabha, there will be stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 and stage 4. This will be the 4 stages. And then the bill will go to the president. The president may give the bill an assent. He may sign it or he may reject it. And here the president may use his veto power. There are 3 vetoes power: absolute veto, suspension veto and pocket veto. Okay, absolute veto, suspension veto and pocket veto. Okay, so here president may use this kind of veto power and he may exercise his powers. At the same time, instead of using veto power, the president may reject the bill or give the bill back to the consideration. Now imagine if the bill comes to Lok Sabha. Again all these 4 stages will undergo in Lok Sabha. Again the bill will be passed in Rajya Sabha. Again 4 stages. Again it goes to the president. Now, here the condition is, if the president is getting the same bill again for the second time, okay, if the president is getting the same bill again for the second time, at that time, president has to sign. Okay, president has to give his assent. Now, on the other side, the president may use his veto power only in the case of ordinary bill. Only in the case of ordinary bill. Okay, and I have told you, money bill and constitution amendment bill, money bill and constitution amendment bill, this bill cannot be rejected by the president. This bill cannot be rejected by the president. Constitution bill cannot be rejected because the 24th Constitution Amendment Act, okay, the 24th Constitution Amendment Act, this amendment says that president should not reject the constitution amendment bill. Money bill cannot be rejected by the president because it is introduced prior by taking the permission from the president. Prior permission is taken by the president, and then only this parliament will go ahead with the money bill. Money bill is nothing but Article 118, that is annual financial statement. And then you have one more thing, that is Article number 117 of one type, 117, 1, 2 and 3. And who has the power to declare the money bill? It is under Article number 10. The speaker has the power to declare the money bill. Okay, so today national education policy is in news. Now the same topic will be asked in SSB. Okay, group discussion SSB, they'll ask you a question. What is the problem with our education system? Okay, what is the problem with our education system? A fifth standard boy, he is not able to solve third standard maths. Okay, if you go to government schools and colleges, a fifth standard boy or a girl, he cannot solve third standard maths. At the same time, a fifth standard boy, he cannot read even a single paragraph. He cannot retain this paragraph in his mind. Okay, he cannot memorize this paragraph in his mind. This is the thing. Now, even we have so many degrees, so many attractive degrees and all, what happens? Our students, they don't have skill, they don't have confidence. Okay, our students, they don't have skill, they don't have confidence. So the government has recognized these lapses in the education system, and after 34 years of this change, we are going to make new changes. So let us go back to history. I'll tell you, here there was a person called as Lord Macaulay. Lord Macaulay is considered as father of education system in India. Father of education system in India. Now, during freedom struggle, there was a topic whether these Indians should be taught in vernacular language or the foreign language like English. Vernacular language is nothing but mother language, and you have one more language that is English, and it was fully spoken by Britishers. Okay, now vernacular language, especially you have Hindi, then you have Tamil. Okay, all the states like Madras province, people used to use Tamil. Then you have Marathi, then Bengali, okay, Punjabi. All these languages were there in the vernacular languages. Here there was a big challenge by the British government. Okay, India was ruled by Britishers for more than 300 years. So under their rule, the British government, it was Lord Macaulay who told that Indians are uncivilized people. Okay, Indians are uncivilized people. In order to bring discipline in Indians life, okay, in order to bring discipline in Indians life, and in order to make them as a civilized human being, okay, as a civilized human being, we have to teach them English. We have to teach them English. And one more reason, the first reason is to civilization, and the second reason is, the main reason is, these British people, they want some servants. Okay, they want some servants who can run their administration, who can run their administration. So the manpower, they required the manpower to run their administration. That's the reason why Britishers, they decided, let English be the language in which the English Indians will be taught. Okay, so the doubt of this
Second point I didn't get, sir.
yeah,
Second point I didn't get, sir.
I'll tell you. So English was the language which was decided. Now, for example, now what is British people did? They gave all the degree. Imagine law was a degree which was given during olden time. Lokmanya Tilak was a lawyer. Sardar Patel, Jawaharlal Nehru, Mahatma Gandhi, everyone were big lawyers. At the same time, engineers and doctors were also there. Like for example, the first Indian National Congress doctor, the lady, okay, they may ask you an exam. You can take it down. Indian National Congress, the first lady doctor is Kadambini Ganguly. Okay, Kadambini Ganguly. Kadambini
So then
Ganguly.
Anandi Joshi Bai sir.
No, she is not doctor. She is not the doctor, but Kadambini Ganguly was the first lady, and she was the first to address Indian National Congress. She was the first to address Indian National Congress, and she was a doctor. Okay, so here lawyers were there. So what happened? What these British people did, they started giving education in English language, and they were inducted in Indian Civil Service. Okay, Indian Civil Service. They all were inducted in Indian Civil Service. Now, what is the duty of the civil service? Now, for example, the moment I say civil service, there is one thing coming into picture, that is DM. DM stands for what? DM stands for district magistrate. Okay, district magistrate. Now, there is another name of district magistrate. We locally call it as collector. Correct? We call it as collector. Now, what was the duty of this collector? During the British time, this collector used to go and collect the revenue. Okay, he used to go and collect the money, like for example, land revenue. In our history classes, we will be dealing with land revenue system, that is zamindari system, Ryotwari system, and Mahalwari system. These were the three systems practiced all over India. Zamindari, and this was one of the question asked in your CDS examination 2015. They have asked an examination question. Zamindari system is called as permanent settlement. Ryotwari system was practiced in Madras province, and Mahalwari system was practiced in northwest frontier province or Baluchistan area. It is near Pakistan. Okay. And the father of this permanent settlement was
Sir,
Lord Cornwallis. Yeah, tell me doubts.
Sir, Rayatwar is Madras, then Mumbai.
Mumbai, yeah, two places, Bombay and Madras. This was practiced, but it was very famous in south. Okay, because the land by the farmers were scattered. They had a very small land, and there was direct interaction between the officials and the farmers, peasants. Okay, and here you have Alexander Reed. Then you have all other important people. Lord Cornwallis is regarded as the father of permanent settlement. Those who are writing AFCAT examination. Okay, those who are writing AFCAT examination, there will be a question on one of the lords, okay, who is the father of who is the father of the zamindari system. Now they will ask you who is the father of education system. Now why did I tell Lord Macaulay? Because education policy is in news nowadays. Okay, education policy is in news nowadays, so examiner will be focusing on who is called as the father of education system in India, that is Lord Macaulay. Okay, and he is also considered as the father of the penal code. Okay, penal code, that is criminal code, criminal and civil code. All the law, everything was started by this guy only, Thomas Macaulay. Got it? Understood? So this was the duty of this collector, to collect the revenue, and this is why he was called as collector. Now here what happened, the first education policy during British time, it was Lord Macaulay. After that there was one more thing called as Wood's Dispatch. Okay, there was one more thing called as Wood's Dispatch. Now whatever I'm telling you, this is from the point of view of CDS examination and CAPF examination. Okay, this is from Combined Defense Service and Central Armed Police Force examination. Those who are writing AFCAT and INET, you need not worry, you just need to remember who is the Lord and what they have done. So Wood's Dispatch is there. After that, you have a committee called as Sadler Committee. Okay, then you have a committee called as Sadler Committee. After that, you have something called as Hunter Committee. You have one more committee called as Hunter Committee. And after Hunter Committee, you have a committee called as Rayleigh Committee. Keep writing it down. You may be forgetting all these names. Okay, you have a committee called as Rayleigh Committee. And after Rayleigh Committee, you have one more committee called as Varda Committee. Okay, and after Varda Committee, you have last one committee is there, which is responsible for the system, like law system and all. Okay, now this Varda Committee is very, very important, because it was during this time the Indian National Congress, with the idea of Gandhiji, they decided that vernacular languages should be the basic medium of education from 0 to 5th standard. Okay, from like first standard to fifth standard, from the age of 0 to 5 or 0 to 8. Okay, the students should be educated in their mother tongue only. Okay, the students should be educated in their mother tongue only. So this was the idea given by Gandhiji. At the same time, Gandhiji told that women should be encouraged in education, and they should be given some skills. Okay, they should be given some skills. And what is the skills? The skill is nothing but like day-to-day skills like weaving, okay, tailor, okay, all these things, all these skills should be done. So Varda Committee is important. Then you have Woods Dispatch, Sadler Committee, Hunter Committee, Rayleigh Committee. All this committee, they may ask you chronology order. So I have given you the chronology order. Years I haven't mentioned. Years I will give you when I discuss in your history classes. Okay. So Lord Macaulay.
After Varda Committee?
After Varda Committee, there is one more committee. Right now I don't remember. Just keep in mind. I'll give you the notes in detail. Okay. So Woods Dispatch is there. Sadler Committee is there. Hunter Committee is there. Rayleigh Committee is there. Now here you might have heard some committee, some famous school called as Bethune School. Okay. Bethune School is there. Okay, then you have IITs. Okay, IIT Kharagpur. IIT Kharagpur was started. Okay, under this education committee. Then you have Banaras University. Okay, Banaras University. All these important universities started under this people. Okay, under this committee, various committee. So this was the thing which was going on our freedom struggle. And after India got independence, we continued with the new education system. If you go and ask your parents, they used to follow this. Okay, they used to follow this system, that is 5 plus 3 plus something like that. And today after 34 years, again the same system is going to come, that is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Okay, the good thing about this education is the first basic elementary education. Okay, the basic elementary education, the government is focusing on mother language or the vernacular language of a candidate. Vernacular language of a candidate or local language. Suppose if he is from Karnataka, he will have basic education in Kannada language. Suppose if a guy is from Tamil Nadu or Punjab or any other state, that particular state language will be taught from 0 to their 5th standard, and after that he will be taking English. Okay, he will be taking English. Now this is one of the good thing, because nowadays you have seen parents are more ambitious. Okay, the ambitions of the parents are killing the childhood of the children. Okay, they are killing the childhood of the children. This point you can point it out in your SSB. Okay, now what happens if there is a father and there is a mother, they want their son to be number one in education. Okay, he should be rank one in school up to 10th standard. Imagine a 10th standard boy is just 15 to 16 years old, a boy or a girl, he's just 15 to 16 years old. Parents feel that he should be number one in his school. Then second ambition of the parents is that he should be very good in English, he should speak fluently English. Third, in sports also he should be very good. Fourth, in music also he should be very good. Okay, he should win medal. Then immediately after 10th standard he should do science, and after science he should prepare for JEE examination. After JEE again he should go in IITs. After IITs he should do PhD. So what happened, this over ambitious, over zealous parents, now they will have a challenge about, okay, these guys are going to have a challenge, because from 2023 this system may be implemented, and it is good on one side, because mother language should be taught to our children so that they will not forget our culture. Okay, English is just a medium, it is just a language which will require for our survival, that's it. And then you have mathematics. Okay, a new mathematics system which was practiced by our ancient Indians. All these things are going to be implemented in our national education policy. Understood? So what we have done, that is from history perspective, we have taken the Lord Macaulay and all those people. Then I have told you about the recent 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Okay, this I have told you. And these all points you can put it in your GD or lecture topic when this point is given, or even in interview when you talk about, if the officer is asking, tell me what is good, what is bad, you can say that vernacular language system, this is good. Okay, the government is focusing on the mathematics, this is also good. And after that you have the system of dropping out, taking a break for some months or some years. That we'll have to wait and see what is the criteria. Got it? Any doubt from today's current affairs national education policy?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So this is what you have to keep in mind.